Hey, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Tropical NHL back at it again for a brand new YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about the Montreal Canadiens and we're going to be talking about the NHL entry draft. We've talked about the 5th overall pick. We've talked about it over the last couple of days since the lottery happened and since it was confirmed that the Montreal Canadiens were going to draft at the 5th overall. We talked about the multiple opportunities that the Canadiens will have on drafting certain players. We talked about Mishka, we talked about Smith, we talked about Carlson, we even talked about Fantilli, possibly if the Canadiens want to make a trade to go higher in the rankings of the draft. But we haven't talked about the second first round pick that the Montreal Canadiens have in this draft, the Florida Panthers pick. And since the Florida Panthers won against the Maple Leafs in 5 games last night, we have a better idea on where that pick will be. I mean, unfortunately, the Montreal Canadiens got unlucky because the Florida Panthers got in the good streak at the right time, just like the Habs in 2021. After qualifying for the playoffs by 1 point only, the Florida Panthers ended up beating the Boston Bruins in the first round, and now they won against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second round, and now they are in the Eastern Conference Final against the Carolina Hurricanes. So if the Florida Panthers lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs, the pick would have stayed at the 17th overall, but since they won now, the pick is now at 29th overall, and that's bare minimum, because if they go to the Stanley Cup final, it's going to be 31st or 32nd overall, depending on if they win the cup or not. So that first round pick that we got in exchange of Ben Sherratt went from lottery talks to 29th overall, bare minimum. Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk has been absolutely insane. Sam Bennett have been absolutely insane. This team is really, really fun to watch, and I think that they have a shot on winning it all. So yeah, before getting into the details on who I think the Montreal Canadiens should draft with that pick, or if they should trade it, I invite you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get the 5K subscribers before the summer, 21st of June, that's the date. We're 1.5K away from the objective, and there's a month and a half left before the official date of the summer. So if you want to help me out with that, that would be amazing. I'm posting daily Habs videos on this channel, so if you want to be updated with everything that's going on with the Habs, subscribe, turn on post notifications, as well as the like button. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video. That would be amazing. So for today's video, I selected 3 guys that I think that the Canadiens could draft, 3 guys that should be still around the 29th overall pick in the NHL draft that have really, really good potential. I mean, we saw it last year. Last year was a way weaker draft, and Yuri Kulich got selected in those area. Philip Machar as well for the Canadiens, Brad Lambert. So it's still possible for us to get a really, really good player, a really, really talented player out of a 29th to 32nd overall pick. I mean, Owen Beck was selected 33rd overall last year by the Montreal Canadiens. So yes, we can have a decent player. First player that I'm going to be talking about is Russian player Daniel Bu. I mean, his name is Bu. So yes, he needs to come in Montreal. That would be insane. Can you imagine Pierre Wood saying that? But yes, right now he's listed at the 30th overall by Tankathon and on most mock drafts. He played in the KHL and the MHL. Romanov played in the MHL in his draft year as well. He is a left winger. He is 6'5", 213 pounds, so he's a big winger. He got 26 points in 26 games in the MHL, 15 goals, 11 assists. So he's a really, really talented player. He's a big guy, and he is strong. He has a similar style of play as Tage Thompson. Not as talented. He doesn't have as much hands. But for the shot, he definitely has around the same potential. He is really, really good. I've watched him highlights. He's really good at protecting the puck. He's always at the right place to score some goals. And if the Montreal Canadiens could pick up this guy with the 30, 29, 31st overall pick, that would be a steal, honestly. I don't get how this guy isn't like classed higher than that. Probably because this draft is so stacked, but he has a decent amount of potential, and he could be a really, really big surprise for the Montreal Canadiens if they end up picking him with the Florida Panthers pick. So second guy I wanted to talk about is Rohan Zimmer. I don't know how to say his name, but he is really, really good. He played this year in the WHL with the Prince George Cougars. He got 89 points in 68 games. Really, really talented player. He's been around for a really long time. He's been in the WHL since he was 16 years old. Really, really talented player. He was on fire this year. I mean, 89 points in 68 games is a lot of points. Like, it's really, really good. He has a better point per game than a lot of players that are hires in the rankings of the draft. And he's kind of a big guy as well. I mean, he's 6'1", 205 pounds. He's a right winger. He shoots right. He has a really, really big amount of potential. Even in the playoffs, he got 8 points in 10 games. He got 43 penalty minutes as well in the season. So that guy is capable of playing physical. He is capable of playing defense on both sides. And he is a goal scorer, a natural goal scorer. He scored 41 goals in 68 games, which is really, really good. Right now on Tankathon and on most mock draft, he is classed around 28 to 30. So definitely should be around when the Montreal Canadiens will be picking with the Florida Panthers pick. And right now, he is my favorite. If the Canadiens do end up drafting with that pick, if they do end up not trading it, I want this guy to be drafted by Montreal because he's going to be one of the steals of the draft. I can already feel it. If you want to go watch some highlights of this guy, he is absolutely amazing. I can't pronounce his name, but he is insane. Like, he is really, really good. So third and last player I would want the Canadiens to select. I mean, he's not as interesting as the other ones, but he's still a pretty good player. He's the son of an RDS analyst and ex-NHLer, Denis Gautier, and we're talking about Ethan Gauthier from the Phoenix of Sherbrooke. I mean, he got 69 points in 66 games this year. He's a right winger again, shoots rights, 30 goals, 39 assists. He was a plus 29. He was playing on one of the best teams in Quebec junior hockey, so that's fair, but he has a really, really big amount of talent. I mean, he played with Team Canada in the U18 over the last couple of seasons, and he was amazing. Like, he scored some highlight reel goals. He's probably the most offensive, talented player out of the three we've talked. I mean, he has hands, he has skills, he has agility and all of that, but I feel like the two others are more goal scorers, big guys that could really help the Canadiens in the long term in the playoffs. But if they do end up selecting Ethan Gauthier, he is really good as well. I mean, he is going to be an NHLer. You can already see it in his game. He's not super small as well. He's 5'11", 170 pounds. He would still have to play a couple of seasons and finish his junior career in the QMJHL, play with Team Canada Junior, but he's definitely has a bright future ahead of him. I mean, he is really good, really talented. If you guys want to watch some highlights, go on YouTube, type Ethan Gauthier highlights. He scored some really, really impressive goals, and he's been a big part of the Phoenix of Sherbrooke this year and even last year as well. He's been developing and progressing really, really, really well. He doubled the amount of points he got from last season. So yes, this guy is going to be a really good NHL player in the future, and it would certainly be in my considerations if the Canadiens end up selecting with the Florida Panthers pick at 29th to 32nd overall. So yes, let me know what you guys all think about this. Which one of those three would you guys be down to pick up if you were the Montreal Canadiens and can't use? Would you guys be more ready to trade up the pick for something else, or do you guys want the Canadiens to draft with it? Let me know in the comments below. It's been your boy Tropical NHL. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do anything as you want, and I'll see y'all later for another video. Have a nice rest of your day, and bye-bye.